comes in, throws an explosive cast that lands onto 5 enemy players as the Encore is shot out and catches the Smolder, who is still alive, by the way. Syndra gets a double kill, and the tidal wave sweeps away 2 people, including the Jinx, who has to flash away. Triple kill goes over to the Syndra. She is floating over with the Yone, who gets a kill, and perhaps 2. Gragas claims the final one as Yone, a gentleman, gives over that kill to Chino. Blue team now has killed the first turret, and the final spark nearly kills Syndra. And now Moonwoven Prince has died. Xin Zhao flashes to claim that kill. Best Asian will perishes in order to trade that, and shutdown for Syndra goes over to Lux. Mage for Mage. Chino gets in a bind with the Galio, who's got a lot of magic resist, and now Jinx claims the shutdown and gets excited, giving over the return ace to the Froggies. I'll show you everyone's items. Rod of Ages. Ooh, a lot of damage going down onto Nami, who has been focused, but Hero's entrance is too little too late as double kill goes over to Yone, who already jumped into the backline and claimed 2 kills on the carries. Seraphine and Lux, 2 fragile mages, no dashes. Chino throws down a snowball and takes it, activating Electrocute. Syndra deals more damage, and Nami's little W strikes the Galio, who is still alive, but with less than 100 HP. I only saw 2 digits there, and Yone gets ready to take the kill, sweeps, makes an arc with a W, and now snaps back to safety as the CDC march on with a 1-person numbers advantage. Ooh, Galio, Syndra, and Nami all throw their CC out. I see that the players of CDC are clumping, which must mean something to Grey Mercury on the Seraphine. Encore is just about ready, and the final spark is ready as well. Yone jumps in, baiting out the Xin Zhao E, and we see the power of Xin Zhao sustain with the AP build as CDC look to sustain themselves on this flower. Both teams still on high alert here, and I'm willing to bet that Yone snaps out of danger, and this wave will likely be captured without contest by the FBI. We're seeing more spell shots thrown out. Smolder's at 108 stacks right now at 10 minutes 38 seconds into the game. Mapping out to about 10 stacks per minute. Q3 lands onto multiple people, and so does the tidal wave. So does Smolder's mom, and the CDC look like they have found an excellent team fight angle as double kill goes over to the small baby flying dragon, and the Yone is on a rampage where without a wave, CDC may have to back out as they're tanking a ramped up turret, and Smolder takes extra damage, but they only see 2 people now, both with very low health bars to defend this turret, and Chino goes in to flash body slam the Seraphine, and Gragas buys a lot of time actually, as the members of CDC are not safe to hit this turret, and they are instead dying and able to head back to base while the members of FBI can claim more kills. Jinx's Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't claim anyone, while the Syndra ult almost gets a kill, but the Crescent Guard actually protects Xin Zhao from the final orbs that would have slain him. And now, looking at the fallen members of CDC, we can watch their items be purchased in real time. Smolder jumps in, but is sure to instantly die here, but survives. The snowball from Galio doesn't actually find its target, and the explosive cast scatters the members of FBI to the winds as Chino gets a kill onto Drunk Cat's Jinx, who cannot be excited and raise that turret. Xin Zhao is looking pretty low, but we've seen that appearances can be deceptive, especially when you're working with a magic item purchasing Xin Zhao. It seems he's hit the books and gone to college to get a second degree. Move over Prince, pushing up. The Prince heals on the Nami and restores some HP to the Smolder. Xin Zhao still in danger and heals up some more as Gragas follows the engage but dies underneath the enemy turret. And now there are pings from Xin Zhao indicating that Seraphine's Encore is nearly ready. And so we might see another big engage, and if FBI can land that wombo combo with Xin Zhao, Galio, Seraphine, Lux, and Jinx, then they might have permanent control of this game. Xin Zhao hasn't died since several team fights ago, including the one where he survived that big engage from the Yone and the Syndra with his Crescent Guard. We are watching. Chino throws out the explosive cast, doesn't hit the Galio, but Galio's still pretty low, and he's looking to do that wombo combo. Hero's Entrance doesn't hit anyone, though, and he dashes in. While Gragas also slams in, he has plans of his own, and suddenly FBI are missing 3 members, and the 2 remaining agents are dashing out of there. The Froggies have to get to safety, or else they might lose this turret. The wave for CDC is marching behind them, ready to hit the red side turret. And now, as the 2 casters defend the turret, I am seeing that someone can activate Demolish, and it is Yone who slashes it a couple times with his sword, and Chino dashes a little in there and throws out a barrel that misses. Now FBI are rejuvenated, haven't got new recruits, and Xin Zhao has 3 items, Seraphine 2, Lux 2, Jinx 2.5, and Galio 1.5. Looking at their counterparts, the CDC. Everyone's got a minimum of 2 items. And the fight continues as Chino looks for more damage. For a second there, I thought Syndra's W tossing a minion was Gragas' explosive cast. And there's the actual explosive cast. And there's the actual engage as the wombo combo from CDC finds multiple people. And Xin Zhao is looking for blood, but he might be separated from his team. The Crescent Guard ensures that he's not in any danger from range carries. But melee carries, maybe he was not scared enough, and Chino is on a rampage. Smolder sneezes out a fireball. Chino is rolling forward and throws a barrel, bowls it down the lane while Moonwoman Prince accompanies him, and Lune on the Syndra autos and stuns and gets a kill for the CDC, and now the FBI are forced to defend their 2 remaining turrets, the 2 Nexus turrets, which in this game mode do not respawn, as Grey Mercury throws the Encore onto one person and gets a kill finally in response onto the Gragas, as Best Agent Will falls trying to snap back from the fate from the Yone E. And now double kill goes over to Xin Zhao as the CDC are ace and FBI march forward, possibly to take this turret, as Lune gets executed by the turret, giving kill credit to no one in that engagement. The turret will, in fact, fall as the 2 melee members of the Froggies march forward triumphantly and possibly look to take a second turret as well. And Yone and Gragas have some anti-synergy as they aim at different targets, and the Crescent Guard flies out, and Kindred Rainbow steps forward a little bit. The hero's entrance gets interrupted, and it becomes the hero's exit as Galio is forced to move away, but it seems that it's too little too late. This is Galio's last stand, and Chino is looking for more damage as he is finding more targets, more squishy enemies in order to pop with his big barrel of Groggy Ice. Witchy Kirby runs away now, the only surviving member of the FBI, as the CDC push forward with their wave and maybe look to finish game 2 and take us to a 3-game series, tying the score 1-1. Best Asian Will flies in with Yone Z and snaps back in order to destroy the turret, and the Nexus is exposed. 2 more members of FBI have fallen, and it is too little too late as Chino bops the Nexus in the head with Gragas and claims victory for the CDC. Series is now tied 1-1, and for the first time this tournament, in round 2, we are going to encounter a 3-game series. And after a short break, I will bring us all back, and we will start. Side selection is swapped again, and we will go to our 3rd game of the series.
I am back. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around and waiting as we will finally get things going, and I will take everyone into another Howling Abyss map. But this time, it will be one of the maps that is assuredly not uh, that is not the Butcher's Bridge. Personally, have grown a little tired of that map, and so have the players. And I don't blame them. Variety is the spice of life, and I believe in spicing my food very well. Personally, enjoy very simple spices, as pepper flakes are good enough for me. The players are already lined up according to which side their team has to take. The exact map will be a surprise to the players and you guys, the viewers. But I know the secret, and so will everyone in the next several minutes. This has been a fun event. And I'm very happy for both teams right now as they are playing phenomenally. If I had the chance, I would love to join one of their teams. Although I have a personal policy of not playing in tournaments that I host. I feel that the attention and popularity of being a tournament host just brings too much negative attention if you're playing against me. And even if I were to be defeated, it feels like it just wouldn't be fair popularity wise. So I want to keep things fair and even and let everyone have a chance to shine. Because I'm sure you guys hear enough of me on a day to day basis whenever I host these tournaments. Taking a little break and, of course, very good to hydrate yourself. It goes without saying, you don't need a doctor to tell you that. I personally keep two water bottles next to me at my desk whenever I'm doing anything. And so I could be studying or hosting this tournament, and I'll still have those two water bottles. I fill them up as the day goes on. Each water bottle is around 16 ounces, so two of them will be 32 ounces or half a gallon. And so it makes for a very easy visualization of how much fluid intake I've already gotten throughout the day. To my understanding, men need about 3.7 liters of water a day, 15 and a half cups, and women should have 2.7 liters a day, or about 11 and a half cups. That comes from Mayo Clinic. So remember to drink throughout the day. How much water do you guys drink on a day to day basis? Or how frequently do you drink, I think? I should say it as. I should phrase it. If your TFT is indicating that the froggies are ready, I want to double check for myself and ask if we are all ready. So I gotta see 10 for 10 in the number of R's I'm going to see here. Ten. Okay. Let me count again because it doesn't hurt to be sure. I'm looking for a 100% score on this test. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We will now start the third and final game of this tournament, assuming my client behaves. I don't know if everyone's seeing the same thing as I am, but it looks like my client's frozen. The players, understandably, were confused, just as I was confused. They reported being in queue, but well, I didn't see a queue timer myself, but the players did, and they've been thrown into this lobby. Hopefully, we matched up against the right people and not someone's Plat 2 ranked flex lobby. Gragas gets taken away. Seems the Froggies have had enough of the rabble-rousing Gragas. Response, Sona gets taken away. Seems the strategy for both teams this series has been to first pick Sona if she's available, but you can only first pick if you're blue side and the CDC are in red side. Trinamir taken away. Trinamir's been banned all throughout this series, not giving a chance for any players to lock him in. Trinamir's best strengths, I feel, are in dueling and split pushing, both of which are not really phenomena that you would see in the Howling Abyss. Rel hovered. CDC, do they want to commit to this ban? And they do. The Iron Maiden is taken away. Soraka banned. Third and final ban rounds out the first round of bans for the Froggies. All 3 games now. Now, who else will be banned for the CDC? Victor taken away. We get to our first picks. Will the Frogs shake it up? Will the Centers also shake it up? Scion first picked confidently. It was locked in pretty early in the in champ select, or wait, as the timer was ticking down. CC lock-in set in response to Scion. If you have a big boy like Scion, he gets lifted and thrown by set, then the Scion player becomes a hazard to his own team. You gotta play around that interaction for the entire game once both champions hit level 6 and get their R buttons ready. Now CDC will pick the second of the first duo of champ select. Who will the Centers for Drake Control pick? Seraphine gets taken away. I wonder who will be playing Seraphine, as I believe some of the players can pilot that champion. And Nico, taken by the Frogs. Nico herself is not a frog. She's a chameleon girl. But in her Star Guardian skin, she's got a pet companion frog named Toa. And now Callista gets picked by the FBI, likely to give over to Victor TFT. And Ash picked for the CDC. We'll see Ash Callista match up again. This is a throwback to Game 2 of Round 1. And so in yesterday's match, Game 2, the FBI locked in Callista, while the NPS locked in Ash. Next set of bans. A lot of options to ban, because as we mentioned earlier this stream, Jin gets taken away. Mentioned earlier this stream, you don't ban for specific roles, you ban to disrupt the ideal ARAM team comp. But many people don't have practice banning an ARAM because it's not natural to the game mode. Both regular ARAM and ARAM Mayhem do not allow you to ban or even to freely pick your own champions. You have to roll and pray that you get some nice champion and not a person that you've never played before. Mundo, taken away. Mundo will not go where he pleases, and this match is clearly not one of the places he can visit. CDC will now deliberate on their final ban of the series. This is exciting news because this match carries finality, because Game 3 is it. Whoever wins this will advance to the next round. Whoever loses will drop down to the loser's bracket and play against the Pike Service. Both matches will occur next weekend, June 13th and June 14th, at the same times as we've started all of these matches, 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And Emilio bans now, preventing Emilio from kicking his little soccer ball and disrupting engages like that of Set, and maybe the CDC are thinking of another melee engage champion. Now, who will the Frogs ban? They ban away Vagar after much thought and care. Put into the decision, they take away the infinite scaling mage with a cage. The mage with a cage. What shall they do now? The CDC have locked in Vel'Koz, an artillery mage. Vel'Koz doesn't have any mobility spells. He doesn't have a dash, unless you include flash. Doesn't have a speed boost. He just shoots lasers from his eye, and his ult is to shoot a big, big laser. What will our players pick on the FBI? They lock in Syndra. Syndra had some great success last game. The only thing that disrupted her was the Xin Zhao, but other than that, Syndra was a good pick, I would say. Gotta commend the Syndra player last game for landing a lot of those Scatter the Weaks. Those orbs stunned a whole lot of people. And now, the final picks, Blitzcrank! What an exciting lock-in. Blitzcrank is a very polarizing champion, as if he lands his hook, that's pretty much a guaranteed kill because he reels you in so far, in line for an uppercut to the jaw, sending you airborne. And if he misses the hook, then you get a funny little robot who can run and then slow himself, and Galio picked for the final champion of Game 3, to be decided. Very happy for these players, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for us, because these champions, many of them, I love playing myself. Are you guys ready for Game 3? Barrier loadout, 30 seconds. T-minus 28 until we get into the game. There's no spectator delay, and I gotta thank Riot for making that possible with custom games. Because we, the spectators, will be able to watch the players as they are playing. And so our feed will be live as to the players' experiences. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We're going in. I'll show everyone the players' mastery points for the last time this weekend, because we don't meet again until June 13th. Here they are. Highest mastery points. Ray Mercury on the Syndra, 500,000. We've already gotten a pause. I can't move the camera when the game is paused. I guess we're one of the players as well. We're the 11th member. So whoever wins this match, I'd like the audience to clap and congratulate themselves for also winning the match. So I am excited. We have some technical issues. Can't play with tech issues. Unpausing. Here we go.
FBI on the blue side, CDC on the red side, and we're getting ready to start this match. The minions will spawn very soon, and before we know it, this match is going to be over. Game 3 of FBI versus CDC. And now we're playing on the very pretty Koshin's Crossing map, as opposed to the more gross-looking, I wouldn't say drab, but still not very sightly. Galio lands a very pretty taunt, and Chino comes in, throws out the haymaker, and first blood, alright, 41 seconds in the game, goes over to Mr. Set, as Galio dashes in for more, and Blitzcrank gets chunked to half. We already have our first death of the game. Kill goes over to Set, and we now will have the minions meet. Soldier minions have bumped into each other, and Galio is looking for an engage, which lands onto Callista. Some damage comes down, while extra damage gets tossed onto the Ash. Genetic Ivy strategizing, looking, maybe thinking of using Scion's Q-Slam inside a bush, as Great Mercury throws Scatter the Weak and lands onto Kindred Rainbows, going blow for blow with the fellow mage across the map. Victor TFT, still kiting. I'm excited to see what your Callista performs, how your Callista performs. Scion gets locked up and takes a lot of damage, and the Haymaker takes him down. Grey Mercury now staring the Set as he runs away, and Scion's zombie form causes a little damage. I'd like everyone to know that as of a few years ago, Scion's passive form, when the one that activates after he dies, can no longer damage turrets. Taunt lands onto Blitzcrank, and he takes a lot of damage, and Haymaker delivers kill number 3 to the CDC. And Victor TFT makes sure that kill is not unanswered, as he makes a takedown of his own. Scion might be in danger. Witchy Kirby falls to Chino, and now the Set is in the middle of multiple people. He throws and breaks some skulls as Blitzcrank reels him in and delivers another kill to the Callista, who is dangerously low right now, 19 HP. I would not feel safe even right next to soldier minions if I saw myself with that health bar. Kindled Rainbow slays the Scion while he falls in return as Blitzcrank hooks him in, and the power grab delivers him on a nice silver platter to the Froggy's home base. And as this suspicious-looking caster minion moves forward, it throws out a snare, and the Tangle Root catches Galio, getting him killed and giving another kill to the Froggies. We continue this match, and oh, the Vel'Koz Q nearly shot down the Syndra. I was willing to bet if that landed, it would have killed her outright, as Nico takes a lot of damage. She's level 6 now, and the Fate's Call is used by Callista, who is also level 6. The Haymaker doesn't hit anyone, but Set still gets a kill, and the Seraphine catches multiple people with the Encore, as double kill goes over to Chino, and another 4th kill goes the way of CDC. As Genetic Ivy is now the lone man at the turret, he will throw out a Scion Q, and his big axe slams the ground, and Best Station will eventually falls, drawing the attention of the FBI now towards his team, as Genetic Ivy looks like he used the unstoppable charge point blank in order to take down his enemies, and Vel'Koz gets some more damage in and successfully evades the Blitzcrank hook. And now it is Vel'Koz who is the lone man at the turret. Not for long, though, as some of his buddies are respawning, and a bullet hits the Nico clone. Scatter the Weak causes Vel'Koz to go half health, and Victor TFT makes sure he goes down to 0 health. Scion has died, and now the map remains ever so chaotic. As taking a look at everyone's inventories, we are seeing the first completed items across the Koshin's Crossing, with the 2 most fed people on both sides at 7 kills, 2 deaths, and 3 assists. Blitzcrank hook doesn't hit there. Could have been lethal. Very likely lethal. Witchy Kirby takes a lot of damage on the Nico, as you don't want your engage mage to be taking too much damage before the engaging happens. Haymaker comes out early with not much grit buildup. teams. Nico looking to maybe transform into a minion as the Pop Blossom is ready, but her allies' ults are not necessarily all ready. Stop ult charge, Fate Skull. Blitzcrank hooks the Galio, who is already going his way, and the Life Form Disintegration Ray causes multiple people's health bars to disintegrate. And now it is a 4v5 in favor of the CDC, as the Centers for Drake Control are maybe looking to dive into enemy turret, or at least claim this turret kill. At 5 minutes into the game, sets ults, throws himself into the enemy, and eventually he falls as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow sails in between multiple members of the FBI, and Vespasian will claims the kill onto the Syndra, now piloted by Grey Mercury in Game 3 of this series. CDC are standing back a bit as not all of their members are extremely healthy, as they have done great work preventing more harm from coming their way. FBI, not content with such outcomes in this game, are moving forward as a unit of 5, and 3 people get charmed, including the Nico, whose Pop Blossom comes in and catches 2 people, forcing the flash out of Ash, and Galio goes in to stall. The Fate's call doesn't answer, and prevents CDC from answering, but Chino gets a kill of his own, and now he's got a lot of grit, but no Haymaker to make use of it, and it gets thrown airborne as a little treat by Mr. Scion, piloted by Genetic Ivy. Grouped as 4, it was a pretty good encore, but the FBI were able to hold off that engage, and there's another engage here. Shutdown goes over to Miss Seraphine, piloted by the Prince. Now Genetic Ivy gets a kill of his own, and another kill goes over, shared by Lune on the Ash, and Best Asian Will on the Galio. Will's engaged, doesn't catch anyone, but Grey Mercury surely does catch the Seraphine, who now is sent back to home, and finishes Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Rylai's has an interesting interaction with Seraphine, because it is her E-spell that shoots out the little short horizontal sound waves, and if they hit someone who's already slowed, they root you, and if they hit someone who's rooted, they stun you. And so, ordinarily, the initial hit just slows you, the second hit roots you. But with Rylai's, the first hit roots you, the second hit stuns you. It's the perfect item for her. We continue, and Chino throws the big heavy dude into the enemy teammate, and don't get in front of a 4,000-pound object. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide, and Best Asian Will attempts to kite back, but Victor TFT kites forward and ensures that he dies. Grey Mercury gets super low, and now the teams are 4v4, both missing one of their frontliners. Blitzcrank gets a hook and lands it onto Seraphine, who is unable to use her Encore for this team fight. Callista flashes forward. I respect the aggression, and if Kindled Rainbows were to step forward too far, then the Rend will come through, and he will likely be skewered, becoming a little piece of spaghetti on a fork. Grey Mercury looking pretty low. Drunk Cat a little less low. Kindled Rainbows, not the healthiest octopus monster. The hook goes out, and a big charm lands on the 4 people. The Life Form Disintegration Ray disintegrates multiple people. Set crushes multiple people's skulls, and Genetic Ivy holds off against 3 and uses the Hex Gate, but dies in transit and becomes a little zombie. And with so many people dead, we've got to look at the inventories. Scion, Heartsteel with a now an upgraded Null Magic Mantle into an Egatron Cloak, and we have Callista with 2.5 items looking to build a Runon's Hurricane. I'm willing to bet next up. Blitzcrank still got 1 item, the Winter's Approach. And now we have Nico with 1.5 items. Nico throws out the snare, but doesn't catch anyone. If Nico snares multiple targets, the first target will be snared, will be rooted, and the second and subsequent will be rooted for longer than the first. Ooh, Nico looking for a big engage as Ash flashes, but gets slammed by the unstoppable onslaught as well. And multiple people are still dying on the FEI's side. The Froggy's got to retreat now, as Calista doesn't have a whole ton of peel, or does she? She is her own peel, but maybe not. Scion does the Q slam. Doesn't hit anyone with it, but zones multiple people away, as the CDC and the FBI both taken kind of low, with multiple members dead on both sides. FBI less healthy, so. Looking at the items again. Blitzcrank, you've got a lot of health stacking items there. What are you building there, buddy? Another Heartsteel for your team? Ooh. I'm not sure if we'll ever get a lull state in this game where we just have two teams farming peacefully, as I guess since game one, both teams have been highly bloodthirsty. This has been the complete opposite of the playbook for games 1 and 2 of round 1, which was hosted yesterday. Well, I'm feeling the energy. I am wanting these players to fight again, and I'm sure the players want the next engage to play out perfectly too. Galio and Set are sitting in the wings. Seraphine does an ult flash combo to make it hard to react to. And Victor TFT is about to die, and double kill goes over to Moonwoven Prince, who is about to escape to safety as Ivy cannot find the kill or activate Heartsteel, except maybe, no. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Chino is slain Witchy Kirby's Nico, and now Drunk Cat, all on his lonesome, is forced to be a hapless robot playing support for teammates who have not yet respawned. Lune maybe looking to execute here as Drunk Cat makes sure the execute does not occur and uppercuts the Ash in the face. Loses some HP in the process, but Kindled Rainbows gets super low. Syndra flashes forward, but doesn't find that anything's in range, or maybe didn't have any spells on off cooldown. Now, looking at the items, again, we have an Ashe with 1.5 items, building the components of Infinity Edge. When Ashes auto attacks crit, they apply a bonus slow. She does not have regular crits. Fate's Call comes in, and Nico ult lands onto 2 major carries. But meanwhile, the backliners of the FBI are dying right now, as the tanks have proven they can do their own damage. Double kill goes over to Set. Double kill goes over to the Callista, and Callista dodges the enchanted crystal arrow, but Ash is unable to escape, and Ivy stands on top here, the last person alive in a fight that killed 9. Now Scion is pushing forward level 13 with Demolish. A Scion with 3,600 HP is going to do a lot of damage with that Demolish Pock. And with his axe, he chops that sucker down like a tree and makes sure it falls to the ground. As CDC move forward, trying to retaliate, Genetic Ivy walks it off and shakes off the pain. If you were to play Scion, you'll know that one of his voice lines is, "I feel no pain." And when he ults, he might call you a coward. He might say, "Charge!" He'll also hit you with the, "What am I?" And we gotta ask what Sion's role here is, but we might not know. Blitzcrank goes in for an engage, and Galio looks to jump on him. He lands onto 3 members of the FBI with the hero's entrance. Sion goes into zombie form and has to be dealt with. This pathogen is still dangerous, as the toxins are active even after the pathogen's been killed. Grey Mercury super low as the winds of war hit him and do bonus damage, and the Set ult throws him into the perfect spot as he's able to crush 2 people's skulls together, and Blitzcrank falls as the final person standing, and Ace goes over to Galio and the CDC. Centers for Drake Control looking to push and claim this turret, as the only person they're missing right now, who is alive in fact, is the Ashe, piloted by Lune. Not taking the warping hex gate. The hex gates. The FBI are walking forward, and the Froggies are looking for their moment to strike. I can smell it in them. And Nico with Snowball and soon to be Flash up and ready to go. The Pop Blossom will be much easier to maneuver. And so if that Snowball and that engage works out just perfectly, then the Frogs can get back on their feet and they can hop their way towards the enemy inhibitor turret. CDC, they have an easier job here, of course, because they have super minions pushing their way. Super minions can inspire players by giving them extra move speed, and Blitzcrank is headed towards the heart of the operation, and Luna gets hooked in. Chino throws out a Haymaker, doesn't do a ton of damage. Nico ult unable to hit many people, as it seems there was a missed time fates call. Victor is slain Chino, and double kill goes over to the Ashe, who is looking to pick up more. Triple kill goes over to her. She has to flash away from the Scion, and now there are 2 people left on the Froggies, but they are very low, and the opponents are seeming not as unhealthy as they are. This could be a turning point. If Callista is able to kite around all this stunning and slowing and damage that is faced her way. Oh, with the snowball, it's going to be harder, but she flashes away safely, and the Galio is picked off triumphantly. And Victor TFT ensures that the fight is still going on, and the Frogs are not down yet. The FBI is going to claim their 3rd kill now in this team fight, as Move Woman Prince, try as they may, cannot hold off all 5 players forever. And they're holding them off for decent amount of time, but Scion has turned purple, and you know what that means. Bonus resistances thanks to Jack Shows. And now the Scion claims that kill. CDC are replenishing their ranks, but the Froggies are back on their feet and hopping. Their inhibitor will respawn at some point this game, and when that time comes, they will no longer have to push against super minions in order to fight their opponents. These super minions are kind of pesky, as Kindled Rainbows flashes out of the way, and Drunk Hat instead hooks in the Galio. That might be the wrong target to reel in, especially if you've got a set to deal with. Nico goes in order to distract the backliners, but dies. Separated from her team, double kill goes over to Chino, and Ivy is getting kited by Ashe with her Q and her fast attack speed. And the machine gunning ADC does not know any bounds, as Chino throws out another true damage punch, and the air ripples and kills Grey Mercury on the Syndra, making sure that no members of the Froggies are still alive at this point. Only 1 minion is left alive, but it is a soldier minion, and at 17 minutes, 40 seconds, Moonwoven Prince does an ult flash, and the Encore catches all 3 targets in front of them, and the CDC take down the Frogs and win Game 3 of this series. GG, stay hydrated, says Genetic Ivy, and I've got to agree. Congratulations to the CDC for taking down their opponents and advancing to the finals. This is not the last we'll see of the Frogs, as they will appear again next weekend on June 13th. For the losers bracket match between them and a rematch with the National Pike Service. And so we'll go to a short break, and then I will interview the players. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'm glad that we are continuing the journey and keeping the tournament alive. Very thankful for our players. And so we will be right back. I'll now speak with the players.
Hello,
Hey,
Lyndon.
guys.
It's a woman's world, and you're lucky to be living
Let me
in it.
change the status for you. My bad.
Oh, no worries.
Streaming,
Everyone on stream is seeing our lovely title card. Be right back. So, I'd like to say congratulations for winning Game 3. and taking the series. You guys have now advanced to the finals in this modified double elimination bracket where we have 3 teams instead of 4. So, starting off, I'd like to ask, what went right this series? How'd you guys win it?
It's a woman's world. That's how we won it.
It's a
Because
woman's
it's a
world.
woman's world, and we're lucky to be living in it. Like,
I think
I
our
don't know.
draft. I think our drafts were really good.
Drafts were nice.
Yeah,
I
especially
think
for
target
the
banning the same player every game won us the round.
Mhm.
I think banning Rel and Victor every game. You know.
Those are pretty strong champs, to be fair.
Also, them not banning Gragas for 2 games and then picking Scion, which they obviously don't play, I think was a little mind control from them.
I can say that one of their players, the tank player, does play Scion. So, for some background. Also,
Well,
they may be tuned in to this stream as the series is over.
Nah,
Very
that's crazy.
But anyways, I'm hearing good draft. Maybe target banning the same player the whole series worked out.
it's true.
And
Victor
it is a
TFT is
woman's
very-
world, which, you know,
Yes, it is a woman's world, and we're all lucky to be living in it. Said that every time I press Seraphine ult, by the way.
hey,
He did.
I
he
enjoyed
said
your
that.
Seraphine ults, especially since you buffered them and then flashed to make them hard to react to.
Yes.
Victor
I'm kind of
TFT is
hurt
really good at the game.
they didn't ban Karma that first game because I did a lot. I refused to believe that I was not doing the most. I just didn't care. And I
It's 'cause
think
they
them
need to ban
banning
Singing.
Sona when I had first pick, I think that was a little mind control because they knew I was gonna lock Sona.
Well, you know, draft involves a lot of strategizing, and based on their scouting of the enemy, they could gather that, hey, maybe one of the players on the CDC is a Sona player. So,
Yeah. I think the Sona. Yeah. I think Sona's just picker ban.
he's a great
I
champion.
think it's fair. Yeah. I think it makes sense. I thought the draft was also good. And like I said, Victor TFT, I hear TFT players are all the best, players in general. So
I feel like everyone plays like normal league, and then after they hit like high elo, they just go to TFT. Like they're just done. They can't do it anymore.
yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I hear all TFT players are actually really, really good at the game. So that must be why he's so good.
Oh, well, would
As
you
a
like
TFT
to
player
share
myself.
us? But anyways, I'm glad to hear all of your opinions on how the matches went well. And draft is a big point, and that goes into my next question. For the draft, were there any themes that you guys looked at? I noticed that ARAM works great for wombo combo, and your opponents are very well aware of this as well. Looking at yesterday's games, the FBI performed excellently by playing to their strengths with champions like Rel and Victor and Callista shooting a Master Yi into the enemy team. So, were there any specific team comp themes that you guys were looking at?
we were
We
talking
wanted to
about
have a lot of like, not like we didn't want to bundle the same type. Like we had a lot of AP, so we wanted to like draft different options, I guess.
Mhm.
that
I
was
think
a big
Chino is just so good at like the game. Honestly, like not to glaze, but this guy kind of performed every single match. No, this guy like somehow is simultaneously diving all 5 of them and also only has 5 deaths every game, which is like I don't even know how this. I swear, this guy lives in their like tower, and somehow has like the least deaths. Okay,
It's quite formidable.
I think it was teamwork.
This
our
teamwork
friendship.
is-
Yeah, friendship for
yeah,
sure.
teamwork is why you hit like 5-man Gragas ulti like 3 times in the same game.
Any
Yeah, I
other
believe
thoughts
that.
on champion comp themes? On team comp themes?
I know we really wanted to. We were like debating. Well, I feel like we were pretty set on playing engage. It was because it was
Yeah.
like two options, either play poke or engage, and we're like, at least for me personally, I don't want to get out sustained. So if we're doing poke, then you got to make that work early, or else it's gonna be hard to make it work later on. So better do engage, so like your team comp is viable, like even if the game is going long, which it will, or you'll like scale.
It is true
Mhm.
that poke does require some momentum to work, and if you're behind, then your poke might get out sustained.
Yeah.
I agree there.
We had a lot of thought on like which enchanter we wanted to play. We wanted to like out sustain the opposing team. So like the first game we went Karma for because she has like a lot of peel, and then we went Nami for sustain, and then we went Seraphine for like the sustain and like the team fight wombo combos.
Those are good points. Enchanters seem to be a big theme this tournament, and I'm expecting it to be present as the tournament goes on. Now, for my last question, do you have anything to say to your opponents? They fought valiantly and took the game to 3 series with you.
I don't know. I'm kind of speechless.
I'd say I'd say good luck, and I hope to see them in the next round.
Hope to see him in the next round.
I
Any other positive
WB.
messages for the Frogs?
thought
Like I
that they looked really strong, like watching their matches from yesterday. Um, like it seemed like they were able to punish. Maybe it's like the team comp was also like the team comp from yesterday, or both team comps across both games, like were hard to play into the Frogs' team, but I also think that they were able to. I think the Frogs were able to capitalize well on like catching people out and like full committing as a team. So like props on the synergy, and it was some fun matches today.
Yeah, I definitely think it was like pretty like back and forth. Like I don't know. I just thought they were like pretty competitive, good matches. Uh, like all three of them,
Yeah.
I would say. Also, respect to Genetic Ivy, who was on tank duty. That was me last game. Well, I
Respect
guess
to
that
Genetic
also.
Ivy for being on tank duty. It is a tough job.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not fun playing against Ollie on tank. Mm.
Well, thank you guys for participating in this tournament, and I hope everyone can show up for the finals, as due to the nature of the bracket, you guys will be seeded to the finals, and you will wait on the winner of the NPS FBI rematch.
Makes sense.
So, best
All
of
right,
luck this
so I
week,
have
and I
to
hope you guys
beat
enjoy.
the team.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I need to go eat dinner.
Hello.
I will
Bye-bye.
catch you later. Have a
Take
good
care. For anyone who is interested in staying, I will be conducting my players interview after the series, and I'd like to say congratulations for making it this far, and thank you for providing an exciting 3-game series with your opponents, the CDC.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun. Sorry, Danny,
Mhm.
you could have won.
I could have won. Y'all took me away
You
from
could
my
have been on the
true
winner
poten-
team.
I
We
could
put
have
you
been
on
on the winner
losers.
team.
I'll be
No, I
honest.
got
No,
I
no,
got
no,
stuck
no,
with
no.
the FBI.
I could have soul red Danny. I could have soul red Danny. I think we beat him if Danny's over there.
I would end for you guys. I got you.
No, you would. If you
Sleeper
did that, I
agent
would
Danny.
actually. I would. Danny, I know roughly where you live. I would be. I would. bring
Whoa,
you
I don't
less
want any
cookies
threatening
than you do.
here.
Oh,
from
no,
the
no, no.
serve.
Oh no, I
Well,
have long since. I
let's
have long
not have
since
any
threatened to bring
discussions.
Danny a cake, and I was threatening to bring him less cake than I intended.
No.
That's about as far as I would. As far as I get.
Less cake. Well,
Carrot cake.
let's not have any more discussions about Danny being a potential sleeper agent if he were on the CDC. But anyways, I'd like to ask a handful of questions like you guys have seen me do before about the matches. And my first question is about draft. I feel that draft is possibly the most important thing you can have in an ARAM match. And so, as you guys were drafting, were there any themes that you were looking for in drafting your picks?
Well, I can't say. Our draft guy left. This is.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I
I
could
thought
I
they
could
did
I
a
could
lot.
talk about it.
They did a really good job preparing. That's
Sure,
what I
what's up?
thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we
so
should start backwards. Start with game 3, because we can all kind of talk about game 3.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go with game 3 draft.
Game 3, we wanted to try and play engage. Which we did. We just, well, engage-ish. Engage and Anaya Scion. Who kind of also engaged. I'm terrible at talking about draft. Someone else talk.
All right, I got this. So basically, third game, we wanted to switch it up because previously we've been doing like very like standard tower poke comp, so we kind of wanted to throw our opponents off. So we decided to try and play a dive comp, and the thing is I feel like halfway through we kind of like we locked in the Syndra and it was GG. Um, uh, we were just really with the last game we were just trying to throw off our opponents because we kind of wanted them to think that we were just gonna stay under tower again.
Throwing off your opponents is a smart strategy, I gotta say. Anything else, Dad?
It was really like good for them that they picked the set into Scion. Pretty good. That's probably the main reason they won.
The set definitely ran our pockets, we'll say.
It was not coming. Was not expecting the set. He kind of just came out of left field.
Set is very favored into that matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, for aside from draft, since the main draft strategist seems to be gone.
Yeah.
Don't
Moving
worry,
ahead.
We'll yell at him about it later.
Yeah, you guys can discuss draft later, but moving on in the tournament, you guys will have a rematch with the National Pike Service, the NPS, on June 13th. It'll be hosted at the same time as all these matches are. Will you be doing anything differently in preparing against these opponents?
Yes. One of our teammates will be making their character pool bigger.
Right.
I think the term we use is a couple of people will be de-rusting.
Yeah, de-rusting.
De-rusting,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be real. I think we relatively did fine, but I could definitely.
Yeah, I thought we played a really great game, and we were definitely punching up in terms of the LP. I think both series actually were punching up, so I thought we did a pretty good job.
You guys have done pretty well, and in both of the series that you've played, you faced off against at least one Master Elo player. Yesterday for Game 2, there were 2. And despite that, you did manage to 2-0 that team. So.
Hey, I hit Masters in TFT once. Come on.
Masters in TFT. Hey, we have multiple high Elo players in our midst in this voice call, so I gotta be careful. Yes. always. For my final question, first I'd like to say again that I'd like to thank you guys for playing in this tournament, and I'm really happy that you, the players, are keeping it alive and we're getting closer to the end. And my last question will be something that's kind of out of left field. If you were to, uh, I guess, if you were to pick any champion that your opponent was forced to play in this tournament, which champion would that be? So let's say this is like the format Nemesis draft, where your picks are picked by your opponent for you. What champion would you force your opponent to play?
All right. That's a really good question. Um, I'd probably have to take a little bit of time to think about it, assuming that depending on how things go, um,
Gotta
that's
be
a
like
really
Kiana.
interesting question.
It's gotta be
Yeah,
like Kiana.
Kiana's probably up there. I
I was
genuinely,
I was thinking
if this
Shaco.
tournament ever, if
Shaco.
that mode ever happens for real, I would humbly ask that can I personally get a Callista ban? I have nerve damage in my hand and I cannot play that champion. Like
Let's
it's legit unplayable. Like um
Yep.
I legit cannot attack move. I like cannot play Callista. It would genuinely be comedic to watch me try.
When I play
Um,
Callista, I set my attack move to spacebar and I play lock camera.
I I have to play lock camera already so I don't get motion sick for other reasons. Like it's genuinely so giving me. I guess that's I didn't answer your question. I gave a terrible option for me. Um. Uh.
Forcing your opponents to play a champion that is probably not very desirable to have in a team comp. What would that champ be? I heard a Kiana because she's kind of hard to pilot. But any other
I
champs?
feel like it would
Shaco.
have to be.
Shaco.
It would have to be some of the like assassin junglers are up there.
Assassin jungler. So you're talking like Evelyn or
Evelyn's up there. The person I think yesterday who was like only like Evelyn one tricks. Um, I have a really good story of an ARAM like a year ago where I literally played against like the number 3 Evelyn in all of NA. Who I legit lost an ARAM like 45-4. Like that guy ran my pocket. So as long as it's not like that guy, I feel like Evelyn's probably not that good.
Okay.
Um, is there anything else I can think of?
I think Kha'Zix is pretty bad.
Oh yeah,
Kha'Zix-
Kha'Zix is the worst. He actually has the worst win rate in ARAM, I think.
Kha'Zix.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kha'Zix has a hard time finding isolated targets when everyone is grouped as
Yeah,
30 people
it's
on the
hard.
map.
Oh, I'm trying to like think how many times during that like this like best of 3 like that I would have actually been isolated for a Kha'Zix. So it's like maybe like 30 seconds total, not counting when I'm in my Nexus. Like,
Yep.
ugh. Ah, I feel like there's also got to be like a shout out to some of like the not harder to play, but like harder to execute AD carries.
Okay.
As well, like if you're giving them to people who like don't normally play AD carries, I feel like that's like an would be like the most interesting one of the. And as a for fun thing, I would love to see like not like just purely trying to win. I do genuinely think if you could like also assign build, I want to see someone else pull out my ARAM classic of Tank Azir.
Tank Azir. Azir in general, I think, would be a good pick for this hypothetical game mode because
but the person has hands. Azir with hands is terrible.
True.
Tank Azir, you just go in and press R and then hope your team does something, and then they don't, and then you die. But you had fun because you did the like shuffle thing. And you're like, I did my part,
And also you get really cool Galio cosplay.
True.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a a lot of work around to play a different champion.
Yeah.
So like I mostly play like 90% of my games are ARAM games. So I I can pretty much play almost any character. There's just a few that I can't like play that well, but other than that, I can play most of the characters, and I have
Oh,
been for a
additional
while.
shout out: if the person is relatively new, make them play Viego. Just for the comedy. Just for the comedy. Like,
That's pretty evil. Make Viego steal the body of LeBlanc or Lisa or Jace.
oh god. Actually, additional shout out Elise as well.
Elise. Yep.
Yeah, like we're see because like with at least like worst case scenario, you can like just press cocoon and then hope.
Yep.
Like you can still contribute, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I
But I
can
don't want
contribute
someone
with
to
the
end up on
cocoon.
something where they like legit have no fun. I feel like that's because part of the benefit of this is that we're here to have fun. So like if we're giving
Yeah.
people stuff to just like not have fun, I feel like we're missing some of the points.
Yeah. One of a video game is to have fun, and it would be mean and probably ruin the fun for all 10 players on the map if you were to draft stuff that's just boring.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
I
that's part of the reason why I was I think it'd be a really fun one is to give someone like Jason, like one of the better people, like something that just like one of the really boring shits. I think that would be fun.
somewhat reminds me of the Jinxie strategy where the high elo, like Challenger X Pro players would be forced to play Enchantress support. And so you would get these legendary battles of like a pro player's Sona versus another pro player's Lulu. I had
That's funny.
considered that because when throwing out the idea of a tournament to my other server, I asked players if they wanted to do either Summoner's Rift or ARAM map. And eventually the votes were dead even, so I flipped a coin and it ended up tails, so now we're playing ARAM. But because of the wide skill distributions, if anyone was, say, like High Diamond or Master Elo, I might stick them on Enchantress support and everyone else can play their regular roles.
Yeah, I'm really glad it's not Summoner's Rift. Some of the skill discrepancies might not allow us to
Ooh.
play the game. I think we would lose in
Yeah, I
less than
feel
20
that.
minutes.
Yeah, I feel that Summoner's Rift would be super hard to balance, and you would just look at whoever has the higher elo
Yeah.
players and they win. But for this ARAM map, it feels like team comp and synergy are a lot more important than individual skill, and we're seeing it right now in this tournament. So thankfully, things are panning out.
We're trying our damnedest.
Yes, and I gotta commend you
If
guys.
there is one thing I think I could do is I would probably be really good at making someone have a really boring time in top lane, regardless of skill discrepancy.
Yeah.
I am really good at making sure nothing happens in top lane.
And that is a valuable skill, nullifying the lane, and it's great for a role like top lane. But anyways, those were
What?
the last of my interview questions, and I would like to wrap things up and congratulate you guys on making it this far, and I hope to see you guys on the 13th. So, I'll see you guys. Thus concludes match number 2 of Vibing Kingdom's League of Legends tournament. Today we witnessed the Frog Bureau of Investigation versus the Centers for Drake Control. They dueled in an epic 3-game series, the Frogs taking game 1 and CDC taking 2 and 3. And with the outcome of this match decided, the CDC will move on to the finals, and the Frogs will be bumped into the lower bracket, where they play a rematch against the NPS, National Pike Service. The time for the second match will be June 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone.
And so if you don't live in Eastern time zone, please remember to adjust the start time for when it should start in your area. Very proud of all these players, and I'm glad that they're all having a good time. And for today, I'm glad that we could get a 3-game series. I'll see everyone on June 13th.